Good morning. My name is Jennifer Baker, and I am taking the EDLC623 Literacy and Language Instruction course in the summer of 2024. Today, we are going through the writing framework video presentation. That's what this is. And the writing rope includes the writing craft as one of its strands, and I am focusing on word choice. The writing craft strand that includes word choice incorporates the awareness of task, audience, and purpose, and also literary devices. The purpose of this presentation is to show the importance of word choice through the use of mentor texts and the skill of reading with the writer's eye. Some of the learning outcomes that come with word choice is that students will identify the author's task, audience, and purpose based on word choice in the book Owl Moon, and students will write a short story that incorporates accurate use of figurative language based on the examples of Owl Moon. Now, I chose Owl Moon just for this example because it is a, newer classic that it's a lot of figurative language, but you can also pretty easily pull out the task, the audience, and the purpose of the author based on the word choice. Some of the statements that were made by the authors I chose for this presentation is that word choice allows the writer to create a specific effect on the reader. So that's very important for an author before they write to be able to decide what is their task, what is their purpose, who is their audience before writing, so that the words they use will convey that purpose and speak to the audience they've chosen. One of my journal articles that I used that talks about word choice in the writing craft says the authors use word choice to convey purpose, tone, and message, which must be properly deciphered by the student. And that's one of the reading and writing partnerships that happens here, and you'll see that a lot in this presentation. And finally, students who read more become better writers. Okay, my first idea, my first activity that I learned about through my journal article is reading with a writer's eye. Now, the idea behind this is that a well-read writer possesses knowledge sometimes that they don't even know, that has to do with vocabulary, imagery, purpose, characteristics, things like that. And reading gives a writer inspiration. So when we read with a writer's eye, we're taking into account what the author was thinking and what their purpose is. It says reading through the eyes of a writer challenges us in our writing. And reading with a writer's eye is a great writing craft to develop proper word choice. It introduces readers to literary devices and the purposes of the author. So the journal article from Cullum that I pulled from is called Reading with a Writer's Eye. And that's what she focused on, was what can you gain, not just by listening to a book being read, not just by reading a book, but actually looking through the lens of a writer to be able to even pull syntax and some different elements of the author's word choice in order to develop that skill. So the activity that I chose with Reading with a Writer's Eye is that students will actively listen to the teacher read the book, and through that time identify the task, audience, and purpose of the author based on the use of the author's word choice. What they will do is jot down excerpts from the text that support their conclusions. So the teacher may have to read through this 2 times once to familiarize the students maybe with what they think the task, audience, and purpose are, but then have them go back and be able to pull specific examples that show that what they believe is true. Now, the differentiation here would be students are given the task, the audience, and the purpose of the author, and some prompts to complete the notes. So maybe the author's purpose is to entertain. Okay, so what are some ways that we can see that throughout the book? And maybe some prompts would be something like the author uses the word blank to describe the moon. Just to kind of help those students who struggle with reading, maybe struggle with writing. We know that even spelling and handwriting go into all of that. So those students who are struggling have that kickstand, so to speak, to help them as they navigate through this activity. Now, the second article that I used for this and researched for this talks about the use of mentor texts in writing. A couple of the points that the author makes there is that mentor texts are good examples of great writing, and they're often used to teach literary components. So mentor texts, similar to what we just talked about with the activity with Our Moon, which we will continue on with, allows students to see what great writing is and give them ideas of how to use some of these descriptive words, figurative language, that sort of thing, in a proper order and in a proper setting. Also, powerful words chosen well connect the writer with their readers and show the world the amazing gift of language. And I love that because it really is an amazing gift. And when we properly use our words or choose our words well, then we are able to connect with the world around us in a very meaningful way. The activity that will go with this, writing skills from mentor texts, is that students will listen to the teacher read Our Moon to review figurative language. So they'll listen one time to the teacher read the text to kind of see if they can hear and pull out some of the figurative language that's used, such as personification, metaphor, and simile. And then students will use accurate word choice to create a short story that includes examples of figurative language. So they're going to use that mentor text to then create their own story using some of the same ideas maybe, but also just using the foundation that they've just gained from listening and learning from that mentor text to create their own. A differentiation would be, this is wrong. So I'm just going to stop right here.